What game's plot made you truly hate your enemies to the point you genuinely enjoyed their deaths and suffering? Shadow of Mordor. Every time you get killed, you get to watch all of your enemies get promoted and more powerful. My solution was to enslave all of them to do my will by the end of the game. In Fallout New Vegas. Minor spoilers, there was a side quest where you investigate some missing people. Mainly a mother and daughter. The daughter always had a teddy bear she would never go anywhere without. You follow some leads which lead you to a brothel, where you question two guys. They say nothing incriminating, but a lot of suspicious stuff. And you have the option of breaking into their rooms to find a list of people they sold into slavery to Caesar's legion. And evidence that the mother and daughter had been held there. I break into the first guy's room and I see the little girl's teddy bear on his bed. I walked out and killed them on the spot. I don't think I've ever had such a reaction to anything else in games to that extent. Whitney's milk tank. F that mooing. I drink from my own udders to replenish my freaking thousands of hit points. Fattest rolling son of a bitch. XEOM, but not for moral reasons about humanity or whatnot. No, I disintegrate every goddamn secto mutton disc. Whatever the fuck it is, because they killed my goddamn max level sniper from like 3 miles away with 4 straight crits. Why Barbara, you monsters? She was so young. And a Canadian, for God's sakes. Borderlands 2 Handsome Jack. After everything he's done, hearing all about his past, and after that epic fight against the warrior, so totally worth it to finish him. That bee that sells Boone's wife to the Legion and FO. Envy, sure. You're not the one killing her, but it's so satisfying watching her head explode. GTA 5. After like 2 months of doing everything that FBI agent says and getting shot for it, shooting him in the face was pretty gratifying. Dragon Age Origins. But not the main villain. Or the big bad evil dragons. On the human noble start, you go round making friends, chatting people up, culminating in meeting your sister-in-law and nephew as your father and brother get ready to go off to war. Then Errol Howe betrays your family and slaughters everyone in the castle. The first bodies you find are your sister-in-law and nephew, killed defenseless in their room. I was so angry. GTA 4. At least in my ending. F Jimmy Pecorino. He just couldn't leave bad enough alone. Killing him was something I had to do. But afterwards it doesn't make anything better. The truth is that Nico ultimately has himself to blame for what happens to Kate. And he knows it. Deus Ex. Human Revolution. Once I saw Malak's body on the table, the pacifist run was over. Load the armor-piercing rocket thing on the revolver. And it was time to commit some war crimes. Saints Row 3. Taking out that group because they killed Gat. The Nazis in Wolfenstein. The New Order. They were just so blatantly and aggressively evil that I couldn't help but feel satisfaction shoving chainsaws up their rear. Mass Effect 3. It didn't matter if I went full Paragon. I'd always hit the Renegade interrupt after the battle with Kyling. Bioshock Infinite. Burial at Sea Episode 2. Made me play Bioshock 1 just to see Fontaine die. FTL. Faster than light. Not the plot so much as the rest of the game. By the time I actually was capable of finishing that game, I had become absolutely alright with the various atrocities you can commit in that game. Rob the civilians? No problem. Vent the enemy boarding party into space along with one of your engineers? You betcha. Firebomb the enemy medbay? Absolutely. By the end of ME3 I was genuinely shouting die 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 fu and going full on melee because I was so scared of losing Garrus. Needless to say, the end of that game broke me emotionally. Killing the raiders and slavers in Fallout 3. Wiping out Paradise Falls was especially satisfying. First infamous game. In the historic district. After Kessler kills Trish. And the fact that the enemies there take forever to kill. So when I managed to down one, I would go to them and drain the life out of them to heal Cole and restore his energy. killing the Ballas in GTA SA. Fuck you doing in my hood wearing the wrong colors. Also crack dealers selling dope in my community. I'm a white dude from suburban France. Exalt an XCOM. After they have spent the whole campaign annoying and hindering you. And after a ton of work you finally find their base. At that point, you also have finally overtaken them technologically, and there is nothing in their base you should protect. So after a long time being bullied, you can airdrop in matches and demolish everything with explosives and plasma weaponry. The Exalt has no change. And it's glorious. Settlers or Catan. Every single game. Oh, you're going for that port? Longest road. 2? Let me place my second settlement and ruin both of those for you. Persona 5 is doing that for me right now. I've never wanted to finish a dungeon in Persona just to see the resolve. Until I learned about the first antagonist. I wasn't expecting it to be so dark and compelling. Not the plot. But rarely have I felt more unadulterated hatred for anything than the CPUs in Super Smash Bros. When you die and they taunt. Bitch. I missed a ledge dash. You didn't do shit. Congratulations though. You just bought a one-way ticket to Juggle City. Your accommodations will be directly above the stage as well as to your far left and right. Be careful of the drinks though. You wouldn't want them to get spiked. Similarly, in Pokemon when some post-trainer manages to make your favorite Pokemon faint through some act of freaking god. First you miss a sure kill attack. Then they get a super effective critical hit. I hold grudges. After I smack the shit out of them the first time, I play through the game until I have at least level 70 of the overpowered legendary pseudo-legendary Pokemon that has a type advantage and crush them with the strongest attack possible. There is no kill like overkill. Gary Smith. From Bully. Scholarship. In Wind Waker. It felt great to go to the Forsaken Fortress the second time and just murdering everybody there. For me it's usually anyone who keeps slaves. Doesn't matter how good a hero I'm trying to be. How lenient I am to sparing my other enemies. If you need slaves I will have to utterly destroy you. In Morrowind I took it upon myself to free all the slaves. Turns out there was actually a questline for it. But only after you free loads of slaves will anyone dare speak of the twin lamps with you. Also I remember Kota giving me a more visceral reaction than usual to slavers. Half-Life 2. After seeing all the terrible sh that the Combine did to Earth. It's a pleasure to see them each and, spoiler, Breen to run away like the little baby man he is. Spoiler. Fallout NV. Destroying Caesar's Legion makes me very happy. The best part is taking Boone with you to take out Caesar himself. Used an automatic grenade launcher for that part. Darkness. I enjoyed those dark powers while I too much. I now understand why it's so easy to corrupt people. In The Witcher 3 I had just arrived at the inn in Velen where those 4 guys walk in and try to start some shit. I just played it cool and brought them around and made it outside without any incident. The Baron's men are searching the village and one of them is talking to her father. I stop to listen and I hear this freaking piece of filth saying that he knows the farmer has a young daughter and one day he won't be able to hide her fast enough and all the Baron's men will have a go with her. I murdered every single one of those Mothurfkas. And I smiled while I did it. The Tomb Raider reboot. Before Rising. Trapped on an island with a bunch of insane murderers and rapists. Every single one of those guys deserved death. Grief Whitehill in Telltale's Game of Thrones. I had Roderick in that moment and the choice came to chasing Lord Whitehill or rescuing your brother. I couldn't give a shit about the little brother but he was being guarded by the sniveling arsehole son who spent the whole story fricking with you. I took massive pleasure in sticking that sword through his neck and cutting his head off. Titanfall 2. Spoiler ahead. When Jack and BT get captured. And that bad guy, whose name I don't recall, starts killing BT. I freaking lost it. I wanted to murder that son of a bee for messing with my robot. I wanted to curb stomp his goddamn head until it was nothing but a wet pulp of blood and guts. F you bad guy. You fricked with my robot you fricking fucker. That Titan was my best in-game companion ever. No doubt about it. And you are hurting him. I'm gonna execute you so freaking hard when I fight you. Because I know you are going to be a boss. In Wolfenstein The New Order, after you have to make the choice to kill either Wyatt or Fergus in the first mission. And then meeting who you said to be killed as the robot from the last mission. This makes killing Dr. Wolfenstein so much sweeter at the end, and all of his creations that you killed on the way so gratifying. Mafia 3 with the Clan, or the Southern Union. I saw a playthrough of the level where you break up a slave auction. And whoever was playing just killed the guards and let all the patrons run away. F that. I blew most of them away with a grenade and shot the rest in the knees. I unloaded a shotgun into an old lady's face and really enjoyed it. You slaver scum. Saints Row 2. Mero and his freaking brotherhood. The cutscene where you had to kill Carlos. That fricked me up. I wished I could physically enter the game and do what the protagonist did to Mero. Freaking worthless pile of shit. Runners up include Life is Strange, Assassin's Creed II, and Red Dead Redemption. I would say Xenoblade, but the only boss fight that doesn't end in a tear-jerking death is the final boss. Even the you will pay for your insolence is pretty tear-jerking. Elder Scrolls. When you defeat Molag Bal. I enjoyed his suffering after I found out what he did to Serana from Skyrim. Mass Effect 3. Every time I encountered Kyle Leng after he killed Thane. God, I just wanted to absolutely destroy him. After the fall of Thesha. Stopping the Reapers came second to wiping that stupid smirk of his cybernetic face. God, what a fulfilling moment at the end of the Cerberus HQ mission when Shepard forearm smashes Kyle Leng's sword and stabs him in the gut with his Omni Blade. Saying that was for Thane. Very satisfying. King Henselt in Witcher 2. Rangves was a big no-no. Unfortunately I didn't get to kill Deathmole 2 as I opted to save Triss instead. In Pokemon Sun. I was honestly so pissed at Lucamine that after I beat her final battle. I shouted at my DS, "That's what you get, you abusive, manipulative fuck. You don't deserve Lily." Double quote. Fire Emblem Awakening. To find out the last boss was yourself was crazy. You've been chasing him down until you finally made it there. All the restarts I had to do because I lost good team members I didn't want to lose. If playing on classic mode your teammates are dead for good. Good stuff. Lautrec the Embraced. I sliced through Sen's Fortress and Analondo to get to that motherfucker for a full day. Found him. Took out my great sword and blew through him and his crew. Not really a major part of Dark Souls plot, but satisfied me nonetheless. BioShock Infinite. More specifically the scientists that were operating the machine that was draining Elizabeth. I pulled out the shotgun for those two fucks. Well, anytime I play Civ V that ends up happening. For example, last time I played I was going for a cultural victory. But Siam, the broke little country nearly 3 eras behind me, kept sending me their missionaries and talking major shit. So I salted the earth where their capital once stood. When I first saw the Overwatch Widowmaker trailer for her, I really despised her. Every time I killed a Widowmaker I got a little happier. Now it's like that with Tracer because she's annoying.